Okay, in this video, I'm going to explain to you how to solve inequalities. We will be working with inequalities in our classroom for the next couple of days. So they're very similar to equations, but with a couple of differences. The first thing is to understand how these things are graphed. So I may give you a picture of a number line and show you that we have a 1.4 here with an open circle on it and shaded to the left. So, here would be 1.8, there would be 2, and so on. Here would be 1.2, etc. So, this means all of the numbers smaller than 1.4 are included in this set. So the way that we write that is x is less than 1.4. So these two things are equivalent. This is the expression with an inequality sign. This is the picture on the graph. So this is the graph of this inequality. So let's talk about these signs. This means is less than. Okay. This means is greater than. If you have a line underneath it, that means is less than or equal to. This means greater than or equal to. Okay? These will be represented with open circles. These will be represented with closed dots. So those things you need to memorize. Okay, so I would write that down, put it in your notebook, put it somewhere where it's handy so that as you're doing homework, you can go back and look at those. Okay, so then the next example, you do this one. And so I've got, this might be negative 11, this is negative 10, this is negative 9, and we have a closed dot. And we're talking about all of the numbers over here. Okay, so you go ahead and take a second and write down what you think that is, and then I'll put the answer down. Pause the video if you need to think about it a little bit longer. So this is x is greater than or equal to negative 10. Okay, x is greater than or equal to negative 10, because any of these numbers are greater than or equal to negative 10. And because we have this closed dot there, I could put negative 10 in there. Negative 10 is greater than or equal to negative 10 because it's equal to it, okay? So the next example is solving one, okay? So we can have x minus 10 is less than 15. So we're gonna work it the same way that we worked equations. We need to move this 10 over. So I'm gonna add 10 to both sides. That cancels. Bring everything down. And with this, it's very important to work down because now we have a direction. Before, when we were working with equations, if you had x equals 3 or you flipped it around and said 3 equals x, that means the same thing. But now if we say x is greater than 2, if you flip it around and have 2 there and x there and you bring down your sign, that means something totally different. The x is bigger and the 2 is smaller. Here the 2 is bigger and the x is smaller. So this is different. This is the same. So writing your steps out carefully is even more important now that we're doing inequalities. Okay? If you were to graph this, we would want to show everything that's less than 25. So it would look like that. That's the graph of x is less than 25. Okay, so let's say you have negative 9 plus b is less than or equal to 16. Okay, so pause the video and work that problem. Then this would be plus 9 to both sides. So b is less than or equal to 25. If we were to graph that, we would have 25. We would have the closed dot, and it would be shaded that direction. So that would be the graph of it. Okay? Example 4, These are out of your workbook, by the way. This is on page 342. I started on 342. I'm now on page 343. I didn't start with example 1, so really it's example 2, 3, and now we're on example 4. So x plus 24 is greater than or equal to 61. So I need to get that 24 over. So I'm going to subtract 24 from both sides. Cancel. Bring the x straight down. Bring your sign straight down. 11 minus 4 is 7. 5 minus 2 is 3. So x is greater than or equal to 37. If I graph that, then I have a closed dot on 37, and I want all the numbers that are bigger. A shortcut is this. If your letter is on the left, not on the right, if your letter is on the left, then this arrow points the direction that you want to shade. Okay? So you guys do this one. Say you have 88 is less than x plus 13. So go ahead and work that. Pause the video, work it, and then start the video up. So I would subtract 13 from both sides. So that would give us 75 is less than x. Now, I would like to turn this around. 75 is less than x means the same as x is bigger than 75. Think about with age. If 75 is less than somebody who's 90, 75 is less than 90. If you turn it around and start with 90, you have to say 90 is bigger than 75. So inequalities can be written either way, but if you're going to graph them, I like to turn it around and put the letter on the left, and then if you were to graph this, you'd have a 75 with an open circle, and it would be shaded to the right. Okay? Next example. 9y plus 3 is greater than or equal to 10y. Okay? We need to get the letter alone. So we've got y's there and y's there. So I'm going to subtract 9y from both sides. Bring down the 3. Bring down the sign. 10y minus 9y is 1y. I like to turn that around. 3 is bigger than y. Then y is smaller than 3. Make sure you keep your equal to sign. Then if you're going to graph that, that would be a closed dot shaded to the left. Okay, next example, 7x plus 6 is less than 8x. Go ahead and pause the video and write that out. Work that problem. So then negative 7x is where I would start. Bring down the 6, bring down the less than sign. 8x minus 7x is 1x. Again, if 6 is less than x, then x is bigger than 6. If you graph that, open circle, shaded to the right. Okay. I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to stop the video here, and then the next video is going to be the next set of examples.